Okay, so this is my first match of the tournament. Think kept a two-lander. I'm on the draw though. That's good. It's nice to pick up a one drop when you're in this situation. I mean, I could have played the spell bomb, but this is good too. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just attacking and gonna play the spell bomb this turn. I mean, I guess he thinks his calling dies is rock solid against me because I'm playing blue. But I don't have a Volition Reigns or a Corrupted Conscience in this blue deck. Just Tezzeret. So he's the guy who picked up all of the late Kemba Sky Guards. Sure, he has a couple Leonin Hunters, Sky Hunters as well. I am dying for him to play another artifact so I can rock this into the core. That is more than fine. Gladly play the Drake. Pressin. I'm a little upset that he doesn't tap down my germ token with his tumble magnet. That would have been a nice treat. There's my Ichor Wellspring, rubbing it in my face. Don't you wish you picked that, huh? Yeah, I do. Instead I got that cruddy Phyrexian Rager. Yep, Leonin Skyhunter. And then he just passes over the turn, deciding to tap down the Drake at the end of my turn. Which is probably the correct play. I play the Lidden Mirror instead of the Dross Prowler because the Dross Prowler really doesn't help me that much right now. At least with the Lidden Mirror I can play Tezzeret if I decide that's the right play. And I can play Tezzeret with a blue open and make my Leaden Mirror 5/5 and then give him flying with the Spell Bomb when they attack. Because he might not see that, even though it's all on the board. Now what I'm thinking is that I want to hit him with a Cerebral Eruption really badly. And that's pretty much the only thing I want right now. I love that it deals damage to the opponent as well. Like, why does it need to be able to do that? That's crazy. While they're creatures, isn't that enough? I wonder how playable it would be if you didn't get it back if they flipped a land. I don't know. It's certainly better that you get it back if they flip a land. Keeps correctly tapping my Drafts Prowler, or my Dark Slick Drake. Stupid Tumble Magnet just wrecks me. It's so good in his deck. This is like a really good deck for Tumble Magnet that he's playing. Because so much of your game relies on you getting through that extra little bit of damage in the end. After the rush is, after somebody's like stabilizing it post rush. I draw the Precursor Golem and I really want to play it, but the better play is just to probably go for the Cerebral Eruption again. Eventually he's not going to have a land on top of there, and it's probably going to be more than 2. Everything he's played so far costs more than 2. Two or more, I should say. So I do it again. He takes a little bit of time, thinks about if he wants to risk it, or if he wants to sack one of his guys to his Culling Dais. I like the Culling Dais. I like it mostly in the Furnace Celebration decks, if you can get that going. It's probably a lot better than the Saka Artifact Proliferate card for Furnace Celebration purposes. For Infect, obviously, the Throne of Geth is better. And I land it, and things are looking pretty good. 3 for 1. It's more like, I guess, a 2 for 1. Because he Culling Dais for 1. But that just replaced itself, so didn't really do a fantastic job. Here comes Tezzeret. Boom! Consider yourself planeswalked. He has a really witty remark. Nice card, he says, and I say, nice face. I say, nice flight, Spellbomb. Boom. It's flying right into your face now, buddy. Nice card. Pfft. So I ship him the turn. I'm waiting for him to impress me with his awesome comeback, but he does not. And we go over to the next game. Normally I'm not a jerk when I play, but if somebody says something like nice card to me, he's pretty much implying that it's that card that's going to let me win. But clearly it was the Cerebral Eruption. He should have said nice card to Cerebral Eruption, because it totally destroyed his board. He was in the lead if it wasn't for Cerebral Eruption. That could have been any random creature. It didn't have to be a Tezzeret. I don't know, maybe it just means that he's upset because he never opens a Tezzeret, maybe. So you can see me thinking through all my sideboarding options here. I choose to make no changes. Because you know what? I did alright. That's just the way that is. So I get a 1-lander. The only thing I can cast is a Spell Bomb. not great. I mean, I could stabilize with a scrap melter, but like I don't even have a 2-drop. This sand is a little bit better, even though I don't have an island. I got my random 1 swamp, so that's good enough. And I definitely have a turn 1 play. In fact, I have 2 turn 1 plays without even tapping my land, if I wanted to do that, but you never play out the Accorder Shield unless you should, like unless you have to, so. It's not like you're going to run into a situation where all of a sudden you can't play your Accorder Shield. You'll always be able to play it. And there's no card in the format that says something like artifacts cost 2 more to play. He plays his Craptacular 2/2 white replica. That's the least playable replica for sure. All the other ones are actually pretty good. Like, I'm never upset to have any of the other replicas. Like, when the red replica is the next worst, and it deals 3 damage to the opponent's face, and it's a 3/1 for 3, then, you know, there are worse cards, for sure. I'm always happy to play the Volshock replica if I have the, if I'm in the color and I grab one. I just start tacking shit onto this Memnite because, you know what? Someone's got to pay the bills. And it's Memnite's turn. He chooses not to give it vigilance. Must mean he's got some plans for that white mana. Boom. Blight Widow. That'll hold me back. Probably want to Galvanic Blast that because that guy is just gonna sit there forever if I don't. And then also in the same turn I get to hit him for 5 if I do it this way, so. I mean, I would have much rather just seen a land and could have taken it from there, but this is okay. This is probably the best thing I could do this turn. I mean, as mana screwed as I am, I understand that his deck runs off double planes, right? Like, he needs the double planes for Leon Skyhunter and the Kemba Sky Guards. Otherwise, he's just playing 12th pick Bladed Sentinels and the best replica. See, he makes a great play here with the replica, destroying the Accorder Shield and letting my Barb Battlegear destroy my Memnite. Then he goes to the face for a little bit of face bashery. That's not land. Things are starting to suck beans. I can't play anything. But look at my fine assortment of basic lands. Does that not count for anything? Nope. Just an island. One island. Knocks me down to 8. We've seen this before. I've been to 8 before against him. Didn't have to do it against a Molder Slug, though. Draw my island. It couldn't have come any sooner. I'd surely be dead if I didn't draw that island. And try to get some dudes off the field because things are looking grim. Now I pause here because I forget what the terrible white replica reads. I forget if it says prevent all the damage that a source would deal, or if it says prevent all of the damage a source would deal to you. Because if I definitely don't want to block the Molder Slug and have him prevent all the damage that I would do to the Molder Slug with my Scrap Melter. In that case, if it said that, I would just block the replica and take 5 and go to 3, and then block the beast next turn, going to 1. But it says to you, so I can safely block the Molder Beast. I really wish he'd just run out of steam, but he doesn't. Yay, 2/2 flyer, sweet. And a Strider Harness, great. Oh, I actually boarded in this Turn the Tide against him because he's got so many 2/2 flyers. Now if he plays any creature with power 1 or greater, you can, yep. So I lose. I can only block 1 and he's attacking with 3 creatures, so I'm taking minimum 4 damage here. If he does everything right. And then he proceeds to do everything right. But, you know, I want to see those creatures tap before I concede. There are people in this world that double click an attacker or something, and that could always happen. Might as well wait it out. Plus, the only thing that's happening is he's losing time. We're moving to game 3. I don't know if the right decision to, if it was the right decision to board in that Turn the Tide. And that's awesome, no land hand, that's great when that happens. Funny, I still have 2 plays with no land, but not good enough. This will do. Tezzeret, Hill Giant that destroys artifacts, fine, we'll keep that. Remove 2 artifacts, that's fine too. It's always great when you have like a handful of a questionable hand, and then the only thing you can top deck is removal, and while your opponent's stuck on a couple lands, because you know if you can eventually play things and start beating down, he's going to have an even harder time to recover because you can kill everything that he plays. This definitely looks like a job for the scrap melter. Like, I don't really want to wait here for him to untap, so perfect time for that. Lift the red up for the galvanic blast, just in case. Don't really want to play it on the Kemba Skyguard or anything. But you never know what your opponent could have, even if you did play them 2 games in a row. And it's a pain because as badly as I want to kill that with the galvanic blast, or with the into the core, I can't because he only has 1 artifact. Skinwing is a great card. I just love Skinwing. Four colorless for a 2/2 flyer, and when it dies, it leaves you with an equipment. That's a great deal. Like, look how many people play the 3 for a 2/2, and if you have Metalcraft, it has flying. Like, almost everybody plays that if you're playing a lot of artifacts. And then there's also a card that only costs 1 more, always has flying, and when it dies, it leaves an equipment that equips for 6 and gives you guys +2/+2 and flying. Like, you get way more value out of that card. The card is just so much value. Sure, it's the difference between a common and an uncommon, but Skinwing is just miles ahead, and it's... And that 2/2 flying, if you have Metalcraft, that sees play all the time. Very rarely does it ride the pine. This guy has a never-ending supply of 2/2 flyers. And he's got the ones that give him life too. It's unfair. Just unfair. Says the guy holding Tezzeret and Into the Core. With the mana to cast the Into the Core. I should be holding on to lands at this point because I have a Sky Eel School. Like, I don't really know what he can do in terms of blocks here. He could double block one of my bigger guys with the Kemba's Skyguard, but then he's just trading one of my guys for his Kemba's Skyguard. It wouldn't be the worst play for him. He'd take 5 damage in the process, though. Should bring him to 8. Instead, he chooses to just trade with my Germ and block my Oxida Scrap Metaler. So I can leave mana open for Into the Core, or I can just equip one of my guys with the equipment, and I think that equipping one of my guys with the equipment's the better call. I choose the one that can't be destroyed or can't be revoked existence. And then he draws like the best answer to this. Acid Web Spider's so good. Just a wonderful card. It's not wonderful for me right now, but it's I mean I love playing that guy. Now I'm wondering if my opponent disconnected or something. That would be nice. I'll take any win I can get. This is 8-4. This is serious business, man. I should write to him, nice card. Darn it, missed it. Missed opportunity. Because without that acid web spider, my scrap melter is just going to town now. Seriously, I don't know when this acid web spider resolves. I assure you it resolves today. Within the time limits. See, now I can't even effectively attack into him anymore. And then I draw, like, the greatest answer that I forgot I even had in my deck. See, I played that mountain. That was probably a mistake. Probably should have kept that for the Skyheel School. I just got so excited when I drew the Anatomist. I'm definitely going to be doing some experiments on acid web spiders. Find out what makes them tap. Oh, you better believe this calls for an Into the Core. Finally playing a second artifact. And not a Culling Dais in sight. Yep. Very exciting times. Now he can't even attack me with that guy. I am nearly out of cards in my hand, though. I just got a Tezzeret. Just a Tezzeret to my name. I do have board control, though, so. It's nice to have enough life that you could just Alpha Strike every turn and not worry about any sort of retaliation. Tumble Magnet's pretty good. It's a good draw. Nice draw. Nice Tumble Magnet. There we go. Aw, shit. It's Tezzeret time. And my hand is pretty small, so decide to just get an artifact in there. I mean, what are my other options here? I could just make my 3/3 a 5/5. Doesn't seem very good. And I press in here for some damage as well. I got this guy so far in the back ropes though that he can't even really effectively attack Tezzeret and kill him anymore, because he's just backpedaling, trying to stall the inevitable. I got lucky that I was able to stop myself in time and tap that creature that he had. Otherwise, like if I didn't go and set my stop for declare blockers, then I just would have attacked into him, maybe lost someone. At this point, though, he's got to kill Tezzeret, because I win if he doesn't. I can just use Tezzeret's ultimate already, so. I don't even really realize it. I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna kill them. How am I gonna get through this worm? Do I just have the worm go in with all the guys, or? I'm like, no, I could use his ultimate, apparently. Forgot it only costs 4. I cast Leadenmere first. I don't know why. He's tapped out. But then I just use the ultimate, and I win. Alright, I'll see you for the next match. See you for match 2. Thanks.